keeping your kids in public school because they're missionaries is the right idea either. Because I don't think they are. Very few Christian families, I think, have children who are discipled well enough to handle what's going on in the public school at this point. Um, I think that's a problem. I feel Bodhi's thing there. Now, what I do think though, the parents have an opportunity to be a witness, and if they can disciple their children through this craziness that's there, um, then you have a thing. You have something to build upon there. Um, I don't see how pulling every Christian out of the institution is going to cause the world to say, "Hey, we should be like Christians." I actually think it's going to cause something else to happen. I think there's going to be they're not like us, and you're going to have. Then I guess my other thing is what relationships do you develop then with your neighbors who are lost or your coworkers, right? Remember how your job is the mission field kind of thing,
Right, right.
and where you're volunteering and where you're having that place where, and it seems to be counterintuitive to what Paul talks about, um, and even trying to live peaceably among people in Romans 13, you got to be among them. You can't just have your own little island, you know, to be in the world and not of the world. That's the tension. That's the That's the hardship, and I get it. I feel like, Bodhi had that famous quote. I mean, it's probably the one he's most known for, right? "We cannot continue to send our children to Caesar for their education to be surprised when they come home as Romans," or something like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, that's powerful. That's truth. I mean, I think that's exactly what you're dealing with. Um, so you could hear the weight of that and feel that. I just don't think the solution is, all right, let's just all retreat into our own cornfield and you know, um, and I'm being a little facetious here, but kind of build our own little Waco, like
Oh, look at that. Shout out to the Branch Davidians.
right.
Oh,
No,
man.
I should be clear. Vody has nothing to do with the with Waco or anything like that, and I'm just saying that mentality though.
Nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right, here's a little bit of what it is that we're talking about. Maybe.
Avoid unbiblical teaching. Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Do not be conformed to this world. The ultimate act of being conformed to anything is the education process. In kindergarten through 12th grade, a child spends 14,000 instructional hours in school. 14,000 hours being conformed to this world. 2 Corinthians 10:5, we destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God, and take every thought captive to obey Christ. Every thoughts about math, thoughts about science, thoughts about history, every thought, take every thought captive to obey Christ.
So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I agree. That's why we started Litchfield Christian School. I think the public education system is discipling children. If you're not discipling your children, someone is, something is. And when you give them 8 hours a day to the public school, they're going to disciple your children. So I feel what Bodhi is saying there. I just don't think we should have a full retreat. I think we have to teach our children how to engage in the world, and I think Christian education is an answer to that. I absolutely believe that. I think if you're going to keep your kids in the public school, then you better have a real strong game plan about how you're going to disciple those kids on a daily basis, in the morning, in the afternoon. I mean, you're having conversations all the time, and you are engaging them, because if you're going to hand your kids over to the state's going to conform them in the image of the state. On top of that, their peers are going to also conform them in their image, and they're going to set expectations. And so many kids don't have the maturity or the emotional maturity, even for that matter, to resist to resist that, and to
Yeah.
to not. So I feel what Vody's saying there. I totally get it. I just don't think that absolute retreat from things is going to cut it.